Well, hello to you, Pat and Tim. Today, everyone, I'm going to be chatting to a mother and son team who, along with me, are global partners with CFX. And for those of you who don't know, CFX is a forex trading company, but it's got multiple angles to it. So you can either trade on the forex market and have that done for you. You can learn all about forex trading, and you can also share the opportunity and take part in the rewards plan. So I'm going to go to Pat first of all, because she joined in November the 18th, to be precise, 2020. And she started with $1,000 contract. Now, she quickly shared this with her son, Tim, who is really, really good with numbers and spreadsheets and can really grasp an opportunity when it's authentic and when there's integrity behind it, and most importantly, when the numbers match up with what's going on. So this is a really unique angle for us to be able to talk with Pat and Tim about their journey. So Pat introduced her son, who jumped on board with a $300 contract, and now they're both going up the system with the packages. Pat tells me she's about to upgrade to the $15,000 contract, and working together as a team, Tim is now upgrading to the $5,000 contract. So guys, this is amazing. So listen to this couple about their story, their money story, and where they're going with CFX. So Pat, I've just mentioned obviously that you joined in November with $1,000 contract. So tell me how that came about for you and where you are now.
Well, Susie and I, Susie from Australia, we were doing an art class. And after she finished, we let everybody else go. And then her and I started talking because she had been in another group that I was in the last couple of years. And I said to her, "So did you make any money?" And she said, "Well, I did a little." And I said, "Well, I didn't make any money." And I said, "It was always follow me and do what I do." But it was like, okay, but what do you do? And in the meantime, I wasn't making any money. It was just follow me, right? So she said, "Well, I don't know whether I should mention this, but we've just gotten into this Forex trading thing, and we don't have to trade at all. It's all done for us. No more $150 a month like we were paying for the last 3 years. And they do all the work. And so while you're trying to figure it out, in the meantime, you're registered and the money's working for you, and then you figure it out. Like you don't have to know everything right up front. You don't have to know even what it is. You just have to trust. And of course, I'm one of these ones, I just dive into it. And the kids have to kind of hold me back a little bit. But with this, I could really, really see it. And I've been doing real estate for 40 years now. And pretty soon I'm not going to be feeling like climbing snowbanks and going through the snow and driving. So I'd like something that I can do from home. So this opened up and I took a look at it, and then I saw one of the ladies did a video where she shared in the a family pack.
Yeah.
And of course, right away I'm thinking, because both Tim and my other son Dave has come in with me. Tim went a little crazy on it, figuring it all out. But I looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, we could do the three of us together, right? So at 6 o'clock in the morning, my head's going crazy at my place. Then I go over to Tim's. Well, unbeknownst to me, I've been doing it by pen and paper. I get over to Tim's. Tim's got spreadsheet all set up. He's got him and his wife and his mother-in-law, and he's got it set up for his son in 6 months when he's 18 that he can come in.
Yeah.
And it's feeding the family. It's like a little pod. Everybody can have their little pod, feed their team,
Yeah.
and help each other. Money goes in the pot and you just pool it together. When you have enough, then you move the next guy up. Like it's a no-brainer. And at the end of the week, like every Saturday, we get some money. Sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it's a little more, depending on how much money you put in. But I just saw the vision of it, of helping, because I've always taught people how to pay off their mortgages in like in 6 years, 11 months, and 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, here was something that I could actually help them get some money so they could then do that. They would
Yeah.
actually have the money.
Yeah.
So
So
thank
my goodness me, in just 2 short months from November to now, my goodness me, you have in just 5 minutes given the people out there with families that are struggling a safety net, a way forward, a roadmap. So, Tim, tell us, so mum here, she enrolled you and your brother Dave, and here you are now. You've worked out this family plan. Now, this isn't something that in all the showcase webinars that I've done that's been shared with people. So, if you could share that, exactly what that is and how it works in your little family pod going forward, that's really going to help families.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, when mom brought it to me, it was very like any networking uh, marketing system. There's always behind the scenes pieces that you need to really look at to be aware of what they are. And unlike most of them, this one, you don't really have to put a whole lot of effort into generating any revenue for yourself. It's a true passive income concept. Whereas any of the other ones out there, you have to go out and sell products and all of those things. So usually, I mean, I'm busy enough as it is normally that I don't have time for those kinds of things. But then when you present a system that will generate revenue without having to actually put in any extra effort, and then you can make it better if you put that effort in, that's a little bit different, right? So you're able to present it to people with two different aspects. But then, like, from the family pod perspective is, I mean, my wife and I and my son, like, all of our money just pools together. That's the way we've always operated. We don't have separate bank accounts. We don't have separate funding for things. That's just how we've operated. So this makes perfect sense to continue it in the same manner. If you have two investment streams and they're both generating revenue, put the dividends into the same pot, and then whoever needs or whoever's closest to go up collectively put that together. So with the trading model as it is right now, if you're running at about 6% to go from 300 to 100,000, you're about 55 months ish.
Yeah.
Right. If you combine it with a family of four, then you cut the time for all four members down by about a year.
Yeah, and that's massive, isn't it? So to be clear, everyone, what we're talking about here is that Pat enrolled on faith with CFX. She realized there was no product to buy, that there was no subscription, that there was no enrollment fee per se. It was just purchasing a contract. And that contract is between CFX, the company, and obviously Pat. So it's a two-way contract. The promise of the company is that they will double that contract to $600 in the example we're using. And then that contract is finished. You can either renew it or upgrade it. Most people, of course, upgrade it. But now that Tim has introduced the family concept of, in this pod that we're talking about, so Patricia enrolled Tim underneath her. Now, this is the multi-level marketing aspect of the company, which, let's be clear, you do not have to do it. But after hearing what Tim said and what he's going to continue to say, well, you'd have to be a bit insane not to do it, really. But I want to make it clear, it's only one account per person, and every person has to be over 18 to join the Forex trading contracts, okay? So we've got Pat. She enrolled her son, Tim, who's part of the family pod. And then can you take us through, Tim, what you then did? So you enrolled your wife, okay? Frontline to you.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, I after I saw the viability of it and then doing more due diligence on it and doing the research around it, saw that it has a very sustainable model to it. quickly moved to the $5,000 plan so that I could see the returns on the other side. Now, since then, after having about 2 or 3 weeks in it, was able to take a portion of the dividends that I earned, plus by looking at the math on signing up other people, was quickly able to enroll my wife with very little of my own extra funds.
Right. Okay. So we're talking now that Tim enrolled his wife, and because she is frontline to Tim, he was then able to go into what we call the bull side, which is really a term, that's unique to us. And so Tim received a bonus for enrolling his wife, okay, that he can withdraw at any time. And now we've got Patricia, you can't even say earning, can we? It's an income, isn't it? We don't even
generating.
Generating is a good word, Tim. So this money is generated for Pat. It's now generated for Tim and Tim's wife. Are you getting the drift, everybody listening? Okay. So then, Tim,
so then basically quickly from there, with the the bull bonus or the fast start bonus that I received from my wife, that gave a good head start, and with another couple weeks of the generated revenue for my own plan, was then able to enroll my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So again, very little of my own funds going in, just return dividends. She goes in, and then just this weekend from the dividends earned, my wife went from the $300 to the $500 plan.
Right, and that's without putting any more of your own money in.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So, and that's how the family model kind of works, is that as the group generates revenue, it's used to accelerate each different one. Because from a $300 plan to the $500 plan, you're about 7 months at 6% weekly. Yeah. Whereas when you have 4 people pulling together, especially with someone at a $5,000 plan, but it'll shorten the time, because you're at $5,000 plan at about 6%, you're about $180 to $200 a week. So realistically, in 2 weeks, you could essentially add a new member at $300.
Yeah. And
then a week later, you could bring that person to the $500 plan.
That's right. So one, with the biggest contract is constantly looking at those underneath to bring them up to the next level so that they enjoy more rewards, and then you review it again and you're looking at the one who needs to be brought up to the next contract.
That's right. Again. Yep. And then basically the model will continue itself all the way. Now, starting in January is easy because it carries for a year. Starting in January, by the end of December, all 4 members, because my son's going to come in June when he turns 18, all 4 members will be sitting with a $7,000 package, and that's doing no extra multi-level networking. That's just our 4 group working together to feed each other. Yeah. If you then drive into signing up others, which I have other people that are signing up underneath myself, that generates more revenue that you can then utilize to drive the family pod even quicker.
Yeah. So it's actually, you're building a legacy before you even leave the planet.
That's right.
For your children, your son, your grandchildren, and so on. So now I know that you have spreadsheets on all of this, because people are listening to that and they'll probably go, what?
It's a lot.
And then listen again. But we do have a lot of Word documents. Tim's very, very good with helping people, and he's got it all on a spreadsheet. So we've got this team here, Pat and Tim. They live in Ontario, Canada. Well, obviously it's a global business because it's all done online. And if you join their team, a lot of people get worried, don't they, Pat and Tim, about the technical side, because obviously it's all online and you've got to be a bit tech savvy, haven't you? So Pat, tell us how you got on with that and how much help you got from Tim.
Lots. Well, to start with, Susie from Australia, who I joined with, she actually went into my computer and did a Zoom, and she got me started, but I didn't know what she did. All I knew is that at the end of the week, I got some money. So I said to Tim, okay, we got to do this, but I don't know what she did. So can you help me? So he has been helping me. And also I brought in about 3 or 4 other grandmas, and of course they needed help. So we kind of were on Tim's doorstep for about a week or 2 till we kind of figured most of it out. But we still go to him. So yeah, but you just Google, like Tim said, read it. Google, how do I get onto this? How do I do that? How do I do that? And read it, and you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. I know myself, we're both grandmas. We're both, septuagenarians and going forward. So if we can do it, you can.
Anybody can.
But you know what? Tim is absolutely right. There are so many people that are just, fear stops them.
Yeah.
Fear sends them into panic that they're going to click the wrong button. They're going to send their Bitcoin, because obviously we deposit and withdraw in Bitcoin. It is a learning curve, isn't it? It's a learning curve, and it's a process not to be afraid of. But the whole point I was mentioning this is because Tim, although Pat's learned quite a bit, Tim's there to help this growing team that they've got. So, to be with Tim, especially, it really is a bonus to get the help, because it is challenging. And if you allow it to be overwhelming, it will be. So where are you at now, Pat? Can you renew and upgrade a contract on your own? Or do you still go to Tim for the help?
I can do that on my own, and I have half of it in my account right now. And by this week, maybe I should have enough to be able to go up to 15. I'm at 10 right now, and I should be able to go up to 15.
So to be clear, when Pat says she's got enough in her account, she means the money generated from the trading and from the multi-level marketing now, it all goes into our back office, into our balance account, and it stays there until we do something with it. So Patricia started, as we know, in November on a $1,000 contract. She went up to the 10K contract, $10,000 contract, and she's about to go up to the $15,000 contract. That's what she meant by 10 and 15. So, and
like I moved slowly.
You moved slowly.
Yeah, I did.
I think 2 months is slow, Pat. 2 months isn't slow.
Yeah.
Pat, I know youngsters. I mean, a youngster to me is like 40, 50 years old. You know what I mean? And I know people like that and 20 who still haven't grasped it. And I was going to say, actually, that Tim is absolutely right. It's because people do not read step by step. They do not pay attention to what they've read, and they're just all over the place. So that's what I like about Tim. He's kind of calm, isn't he? And straightforward. And this is how you do it, And that kind of energy is just what's needed for people that do get overwhelmed by, the internet and so on, because it's all done on the internet.
Now, I'm not selling this. I just, like you said, share, right? And it's something that I've always shared. Whenever I learned something, I always shared it. Yeah. And this is just something I just share what I'm doing. And I think I have 16 people right now in my group, and there's 4 just waiting to come in.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. And that's what I always do. I don't come from a multi-level marketing background or a networking background. To me, it just means sharing. And I think that's a good thing, really, because I don't have that negative connotation that I've learned about since I've been in Cash FX. So I've been in 18 months now, and I've learned a hell of a lot. I really have, but I think that's the best way going forward, that we are sharing this. We're not selling it. And I doubt that Patricia and Tim will even bother you too much. They'll send information to you, and it's up to you then to read the information and get back to either one of these folk. Is that your perception as well, Tim, how you're going about it?
Yeah, no, for me, and it's kind of like how you alluded to about me being sort of an anchor kind of thing. It's, my circle of friends and my network, they always sort of tease me about it but usually when, I sort of make a comment saying, okay, I went down a rabbit hole and you need to pay attention, usually people look pretty close at what I'm saying, right? And so I've talked to a few people already and sent them the video that you and I previously did, and then sent them some of the video from the marketing back office stuff. And yeah, they're taking a long, hard look at it. And it's mainly due to the fact that, it's coming from a source that only jumps when there's certainty. So, I've done my due diligence. I've watched a lot of the videos and done my research on the stuff. And there's significant potential here for life-changing potential. Just, the revenue that it can generate with doing very, very little effort, it's substantial. And it's sustainable. Like a lot of the stuff you see, just there's no sustainability to it. There's no way you could possibly be guaranteeing those kind of returns without some kind of cap. And this program has that. There's limits. You can only do 200% of each of your packages. There's a top end of $100,000 plan. There's sustainability to it. Yeah. So it adds to the credibility around it. Whereas a lot of the other ones, when you see 1 or 2% daily returns, there's no cap to it. Which at some point that's not possible. That you'll hit $1 billion in 6 years. So you just can't do that.
No, that is true. And also it's a good juncture here, isn't it, to talk about how the multi-level marketing and the rewards plan commissions and bonuses are paid. And so we'd like to make it clear here that when we withdraw our money from CFX, we pay a 20% withdrawal fee on every withdrawal, whether you're on a 300 pack or $100,000 pack. And that 20% goes back into the matrix to the members. The company do not touch that at all. It goes back into for the members, and that is how the commissions and the bonuses are paid. So that makes it a self-contained entity, meaning we do not need new people coming in. The money is made from the trading on the Forex market, which is the buying and selling of money. And also we have the e-learning system, which is the academy that's going to be fully launched in March. And 30% of our trading contract goes towards that. And some of that pays the fast start bonus. So the company do not take any of that either. So that makes this a unique strategy amongst all of the trading platforms out there, whether that's Bitcoin or Forex trading. Now, to be clear, I'd like to explain, even though I've said you have like a $300 trading contract that you purchase, 30% of that $300 goes to the academy. So you will have $210 actually trading for you, but the contract is for $300. So that $210 is your $300 that is traded until it's doubled, because that's the contract, to $600. I hope that is clear. And that is all of the hidden fees, if you want to call it hidden. It's not hidden when you get really serious and you chat to Tim and Pat, all of that will be shown to you. And also I'd like to add that a 20% withdrawal fee, because it's Forex trading, is a lot cheaper than having a personal Forex trader working for you. They will charge you anything between 30 and 50%. So that is a very low fee before people gulp at that. So Pat and Tim, what are your thoughts about going forward with all of this? How do you see your futures in this company?
Well, I'd like Tim to sort of share a little bit on what he's doing from me as a grandma or from him as a father, how he's setting his son up. Because when Jared turns 18, Jared will have, because of the package that Tim will have him on, he will have enough monthly money to help him when he's going to university. Like, it's just incredible what Tim has set up on that thing. So Tim, if you want to share some of that.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, when I started breaking the numbers down, I mean, just to split from that for a second, if at any point, I know I've shared the spreadsheets and posted it on your site already, Hazel, but
Yeah.
if anybody wants that, just reach out and I'll provide it, because it's invaluable, because it's literally black and white. There is no gray on it. So, but in terms of the construction of, or the way I put it together, was really looking at at what level would you have an income that would make sense based on what you're currently doing, right? So for a student going to university, living in a dormitory, having all their food and everything paid for, they only need a small amount of money. But in the way this plan is constructed, or the way the CFX packages are, he only really needs to sit at a $10,000 package to have that little bit of extra money to be able to do whatever he chooses to do, kind of thing. And meanwhile, in the background, his contract continues to generate, and if he doesn't use all of it, then he'll have enough to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. And then on top of that is running it as a family pod, as we've said. Then the other 3 contracts will be working in conjunction as well. So yes, it lengthens the time that it would take to get everyone to the top end, but everybody's still progressively moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and what a gift to that young lad, starting off, he won't have any student debt, and he's just going to be able to comfortably do his studies without worrying about having a part-time job that is a killer for some of these students. I'm tingling all over. It's just, it's a gift from God, isn't it? That these youngsters, forget the grandmas and all of that, but the youngsters starting off without debt, and importantly, Tim and Pat, I think understanding money, how money is really generated. That, I love to say, we don't need a salary or a wage, we need an income. Yeah, job, if you love it, absolutely wonderful. I'm not saying give up your job or anything, but, for youngsters, we were never taught, I certainly wasn't, and I doubt you were, Pat, or you, Tim, taught in school about how the financial system really works on this planet. And to hear of that young lad, and many that will listen to this and get in touch with Tim to follow the same process, what a gift, Yeah,
well, even, just, the mindset, and my son and I have talked about it, is, most people, they work to get an income.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of cases where they're working isn't really what they enjoy doing. It's not their passion, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens, because you need an income in order to live.
Yeah.
So you get the best job to give you that income.
Yeah.
This allows you to reverse that. This can become your job, that you get an income from, and then you get to go do your passion, which is whatever. Yeah. And if you get paid for that too, then that's even better.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. On the beach.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's like, Pat can give us her story. What's your passion, Pat, that you would like to maybe have done or do now in the future, knowing you've got that financial support now?
Well, I went back to university at 60 and did a Bachelor of Fine Arts for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And I keep saying when I'm 80, I want to get my master's. So if I can get this thing rolling, that just might be what will happen.
So that's your passion, art. Yeah. And I've just got, I can't. How many artists do we know that die as paupers? From the history books. How wonderful is that? Okay. So
artist and musician, both. I mean, my brain in the morning, I wake up at 6 o'clock, and my brain is just going on ideas of people that could use this. That could, like single women. People that their husbands have passed away, they don't have as much money, husbands, wives, whatever. I mean, this is like starting all over again, and you have some play money to try.
You do, yeah. You've frozen a bit, Pat, but it's also for single parent families.
Oh, so, awesome.
Yeah, you froze a bit there, Pat, but
did I?
Never mind. We got the story of it all. So, this is lovely. I've really enjoyed talking to you both. It's a different angle to a lot of the other showcase webinars that I've done. And I love it. I love what you've shared, and you know, your legacy to your families and how you've created this financial pod of thriving. So lots of love to you both, and thank you so much for your time just now.
Thank you for all the things you do. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Mhm.